The Roman Empire was the epitome of power, a civilization that once spanned across 3 continents, leaving behind a legacy that continues to awe and inspire us today. But beneath its grandeur lies a web of intrigue, ambition, and betrayal that shaped its rise and fall. Today, we delve into the gripping stories of the Roman Empire, where emperors rose and fell, where loyalty was a luxury, and where the line between genius and madness blurred. In the heart of ancient Rome, the air was thick with ambition. The Roman Empire was not just a state, it was a living, breathing organism, pulsing with the blood of its people. From the streets of Rome to the distant provinces, the empire was a stage where the drama of human nature played out on a grand scale. And among its many stories, none captivate us more than those of its rulers, men who held the power of life and death in their hands, yet often succumbed to the very vices they sought to control. Let us begin with one of the most enigmatic figures in Roman history, Emperor Caligula. Remembered for his extravagance and madness, Caligula's reign was a whirlwind of absurdity and terror. But what drove this emperor to such extremes? At just 24, Caligula inherited the throne after the death of his great uncle, Tiberius. Initially, he was beloved by the people, showering them with generosity and grand spectacles. But as time passed, his behavior became increasingly erratic. He bankrupted the empire with lavish spending, built a pontoon bridge across the Bay of Baiae just to prove a point, and infamously considered appointing his horse as consul. But Caligula's tale took a darker turn. Paranoid and isolated, he became convinced of constant plots against his life. His paranoia was not entirely unfounded. After a failed assassination attempt, Caligula's grip on reality began to slip further. He ordered the execution of anyone who crossed him, even his closest allies and family members. His reign of terror ended abruptly when he was stabbed to death by members of the Praetorian Guard in 41 AD. His body was left in a gutter, a stark contrast to the grandeur he once sought to achieve. But the story of the Roman Empire is not just one of madness and tyranny. It is also a story of brilliance and vision. Consider Emperor Augustus, the man who transformed Rome from a republic into an empire. Augustus was a master strategist, a man who understood the art of power like few others. His reign, known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, was a golden age of prosperity and stability. Yet Augustus's rise to power was far from smooth. His adoptive father, Julius Caesar, was assassinated on the Ides of March in 44 BC, leaving Augustus, then just 18 years old, to avenge his death and claim his rightful place. Augustus skillfully navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics, defeating his rivals and consolidating power. He reformed the government, established a civil service system, and brought order to a fractured state. But Augustus's greatest achievement was his ability to present himself as a modest leader, a man of the people, while quietly centralizing power in his hands. His legacy was so enduring that subsequent emperors were measured against him, and the very title Augustus became synonymous with imperial authority. Yet, even the greatest emperors were not immune to the intrigues of the court. One of the most infamous tales of betrayal in Roman history centers around Emperor Nero. Known for his artistic ambitions and extravagant lifestyle, Nero's reign is often remembered for the Great Fire of Rome, which burned much of the city to the ground. Nero himself was rumored to have started the fire, though this remains a subject of debate among historians. What is certain, however, is that Nero's reign was marked by ruthlessness and paranoia. His mother, Agrippina the Younger, was a formidable figure in her own right. She had manipulated her way to power, ensuring Nero's ascent to the throne after the death of Emperor Claudius. But as Nero grew older, he tired of her influence. Their relationship turned toxic, and Nero eventually ordered her execution. Agrippina, aware of the danger, sent Nero a message as she faced death. "Strike my womb," she said, a reminder of the son she had borne. Nero complied, and her lifeless body was left to rot. Nero's reign continued to spiral out of control. His extravagance drained the empire's resources, and his handling of the Great Fire only further alienated the population. As his popularity waned, Nero turned to tyranny, executing anyone he suspected of disloyalty. His reign ended in 68 AD when he faced a military uprising. Realizing his time was up, Nero took his own life, reportedly uttering the words, "What an artist dies in me," as the dagger pierced his chest. The Roman Empire's history is filled with such tales of ambition and downfall. It was a world where the line between hero and villain was often blurred, where power was both a gift and a curse. But perhaps the most striking aspect of Roman history is how these stories continue to resonate with us today. The struggles for power, the human frailties, the triumphs and tragedies, they all remind us of our own vulnerabilities and aspirations. One of the most compelling and lesser-known stories from the Roman Empire is that of Emperor Titus, the man who brought prosperity to Rome after the chaos of Nero's reign. Titus is best remembered for two things: the completion of the Colosseum, the iconic symbol of Rome's power, and his generosity to his people. Yet, Titus's reign was also marked by disaster. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD buried the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under volcanic ash, killing thousands. Titus responded with compassion, using his own funds to aid the victims and rebuild the affected areas. His reign was brief, but his legacy endured, earning him a place among the so-called good emperors of Rome. But even the good emperors were not without their flaws. Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, ruled during a period of constant warfare and disease. Despite his deep philosophical musings, Marcus Aurelius was a warrior emperor, spending much of his reign on the battlefield. His meditations, still read today, reveal a man grappling with the weight of power and the fragility of life. Yet, even his wisdom could not prevent the decline of the empire. His son, Commodus, who succeeded him, was a disaster. Commodus's reign was a tragic example of how quickly power could corrupt even the most privileged. He became obsessed with his own divinity, appearing in public dressed as Hercules and insisting that Rome be renamed after himself. His reign ended in violence, as he was strangled by a conspiracy involving his closest advisors. The story of Commodus serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of leadership. It also marks the beginning of the end for the Roman Empire. The once mighty empire would limp on for another 2 centuries, but the cracks were beginning to show. Corruption, external pressures, and internal divisions would eventually lead to its fall. Yet, even in decline, Rome's stories continue to captivate us, offering lessons about human nature and the complexities of power. The Roman Empire's legacy is a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of its people. From its legal systems to its architecture, Rome's influence is still felt today. But perhaps its greatest legacy is the stories it left behind, stories that remind us of the best and worst of humanity. As we close this chapter on the Roman Empire, we are left with a profound reflection. The story of Rome is not just the story of ancient history, it is the story of us. If you enjoyed this journey through the dramatic and often downright shocking history of the Roman Empire, be sure to like, comment, and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe for more captivating stories from history. And if you have a specific topic you'd like us to explore next, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, farewell, like, share, subscribe for more stories.